whenever we sit down with any party, the conversation always ends up on us having to explain what it feels like to build a business from scratch. Most politicians never actually built a business from scratch. Most of them actually never worked for a company before. So it is a fundamental disadvantage when you're trying to build something or you're trying to influence a country to do more and to be more and to allow for more and nurture more. The reception, the party that should be receiving the information does not have the know-how to understand what you're talking about. And even the advisors to the advisors to the advisors do not have the experience. And this is the biggest impediment to evolution, I believe, that has been in Europe. I'm very happy to see certain movements, the EU Inc., for instance, they're pushing forward this Project Europe, pushing forward to, fund early stage founders to give a boost, reduce complexity, reduce regulation, enable innovation. It is starting to happen, but we also have to admit and also have to recognize that it's 50 years late. And if we don't move faster, then we'll keep being 50 years late. And the world is now, especially with AI, moving at almost the speed of light. So we actually effectively at the speed of light, because that's how internet travels through fiber optics. Up until recently, I would say there's no one to listen. As founders, we get together, we try to influence the new politicians, the new governments, the new parties, the new commissions, parliaments, but there was no one to listen. Now I finally am seeing some rays of sunshine where there's people that finally are willing to listen, but we have to keep push for more. And, you and I met in this city, San Francisco. The reason why, it's not because we were bored. It's because we're both trying to build a great business, not an okay business, not a satisfying business, not a good business, but a great business. And to do so, we have to give ourselves the best chances. And the best chances are for a business are related to liquidity, to markets that are open, where trade can happen without a lot of impediment. And so a city like San Francisco is a hub that pushes all that flow of not just capital, but ideas of communication, of getting together, of me struggling as a co-founder or as an entrepreneur and reaching out to you and say, hey, would you mind to go for a coffee? I'm really stuck with something in my company and would love to have your opinion on it. This is probably one of the few cities where this actually happens frequently. And within vulnerability and peers and sharing comes this massive amount of value creation. And we need to port this in this spirit into Europe. I don't think you can port or copy it. I don't think we should copy it at all. But I think that we should understand that this creates value, and then we should explore more what is our ability to create value in Europe. How do we create our value, not a copy? I don't want to say that, Portugal is the SF of Europe, or Portugal, or, that there's a new hub that is the new New York of Europe, the new San Francisco. I don't want to say that. Like, SF is SF. New York is New York. Berlin is Berlin. Right? But I want to be able to talk about Europe and Portugal, of course, and say, holy crap, it's so cool to build here because there's a community, there's people that help. The government is involved. Of all the places, I think European Union is super well suited to be much more involved than, for instance, in the US. We know that, capitalism has so many great things, but also has the marked interest in capital. And we know that European Union is not as close to capitalism as the US, but it has its strengths, right? And we can draw a lot from that strength, that community sense, that ability to trade from other countries and travel freely. And that is the one thing that I think we're very much lagging, and we're all excited about all these initiatives, but boy, it feels still quite too late.